This is going to be the quickest live ever because I have to check out of my hotel room in 6 minutes, but I kept trying to film this as a reel and I just talked too much, so we're just going to do this right now. Anyways, here's what I want to say, and maybe this is a random topic, but it's the case against husband bashing, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. And I feel like there's a lot of husband bashing on the internet these days, and I'm sure a bunch of it is justified. I'm sure a bunch of husbands need to step up. But the next time, I think we see what we're looking for, and I think that when you're surrounding yourselves by accounts that negatively speak about husbands all the time, it's easier to get into that mindset of how much they suck. And again, I'm sure there are a lot of times where husbands need to step up, but I'm just saying the next time before you bash your husband, I want you just to pause and think about it. And here's an example I've been thinking about lately. I was out for brunch with my friends. This was in the summer. And my husband texted me and he said, hey, how do I turn on Little Bear for Owen, for our oldest son? And so I told him how. And it would have been so easy for me to get into this mindset of how come he doesn't know this? How come he doesn't know how to put on Little Bear? How come he doesn't know what streaming service it's on? Husbands suck, blah, 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 and get into that mindset that you see so much online. But if I paused, I would think, well, how come he doesn't know how to do this? Okay, I'm home with my kids during the week. My kids only watch TV for 20 minutes a day, exact same time during the day. So I do it during that time period. And then on weekends, my husband will say to me, what do you want to do? Would you rather sit on the couch and turn on a show for our kid or put our other son to bed? I think this was before my daughter was born or whatever. So my second child doesn't watch TV at this point. Or put the other kid to bed. And I would always say, I want to sit on the couch and watch a show. So that's what I would do. So my husband didn't know what streaming service it was on because he was being kind to me. And then it's also like, okay, but how come he hasn't done it before this point? How come you haven't left on a weekend before? Pause. Because I didn't want to, because I like being home with my family on the weekends. So I do a lot of my socialization on the evenings. He watches the kids while I do an embroidery class at the library. Well, I'm just reading my husband's comment right now. Well, I'm doing an embroidery class at the library while I go snowboarding and he watches all the kids, while I go for neighborhood walks with my friends in the evenings. And so anyways, I'm out of breath. I need to check in my shower in 4 minutes, but I just want you to say you see what you're looking for. And if you are surrounding yourself by negative things, that is what you are going to see. And I just want you to pause before you do it. And I think the same is true with accounts that negatively talk about kids all the time. And kids are great and husbands are great, and sure, there's work to do, I'm sure. I'm sure I have work to do as a wife. I'm sure he has work to do as a husband, but I just want you to pause before being so negative. Anyways, I gotta check out now. I gotta go back to my family. Have a great day.